Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you are good. I hope you understand our first topic of civics. If you have any doubt in civics topic, you can call me anytime. I show you first term syllabus of history. This time in history we have three topics, first, second and third chapter. So today we will start with our first topic, which is advent of modern age or a period of transition. Open your book at page number 1. So we start our first page. On your first page there is two important paragraphs are there. The modern period in India began much later than in Europe. The British introduced many reforms which helped to usher in the modern period in India. The British introduced Western education in India. The educated class become aware of the ideas of democracy, nationalism, liberty, fraternity and equality. After this, a number of developments which were interrelated took place in the period from about the 14th century to 17th century. They laid the foundations of the modern world. Towards the end of the Middle Ages, many changes were going on in Europe. These changes undermined under the feudal system. The important development sources related to a period of transition, these are Renaissance, Reformation and Industrial Revolution. Today we will discuss about these three sources of development during the transition period, and after this imperialism in this topic and impact of imperialism, Industrial Revolution, machines, major inventions, all these things we will discuss during this Renaissance. It means it means revival or rebirth. Rebirth indicates a revival of interest in the ideals of classical civilizations of Greece and Rome in later medieval period. It brought remarkable changes in Europe and marked the beginning of the modern era. It started first in Italy, especially in towns like Venice, Milan, Florence. Being at a trade route between Europe and Asia, the traders had become extremely rich and encouraged scholars and artists of repute. The developed of a secular outlook as they were first come into the contact with the superior civilizations of Arabia and China. From Italy, Renaissance spread the other European countries also. For this, there are different type of features of the Renaissance. The main features of the Renaissance are humanism, rationalism, scientific spirit and spirit of inquiry. For the Renaissance are, first is Turks captured the Constantinople. Second one is decline of the feudalism. Third one is crusade. Fourth one is discovery of new trade routes, and fifth one is invention of the printing press. Our second development source is Reformation. The Reformation movement was launched by Martin Luther to demand reforms in a church. The church in Middle Ages was much more than the religious organization, as it had control over the politics of a state as well. It had become wealthy and corrupt. Next one is Reformation literally means changing something. In the history of Europe, Reformation refers to a movement against the evil practices within the Catholic Church in 16th century. That's why two groups are occurred in that time. First is the Protestant Reformation and second one is the Counter Reformation. These two types of Reformation occurred during the Reformation timing. John Wycliffe was the first person to attack the church. He has been called the morning star of the Reformation. Martin Luther raised strong voice against the abuse of the church and authority of the Pope. The respect because many European rulers wanted to do away with the Pope dominion over them and become independent. Roman Catholic Church also started a movement by reforming itself from within, which come to be known as Counter-Reformation. The Reformation divided the Catholic Church into the Protestant and the Catholics. Our third source of development is Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution began in England in about CE 1750. Now question arises, why did Industrial Revolution begin in England only? The reasons are, first is England had necessary capital. Second is England got raw material from colonies. Third is England had plenty of natural resources like coal and iron. Fourth is England developed a large shipping industry. And fifth one is England had no problem of transportation. So students, our next topic is major inventions. For this, please open your books at page number 7. From page number 7, read this table, progress in textile industry. This table is helpful for you for your matching work and for your dates, important events in the history from this chapter. This table helps you a lot because all the years are mentioned, inventors are mentioned, machines are mentioned, and result is mentioned, what that machines do at that time. Our next topic is impact of industrial. Impact are, it led to the rise of capitalism and imperialism. The industrial revolution brought countries and people together. This led to the rise of new towns and cities in Europe. It led to the rise of new industrial capitalists who were the owners of means of production. It also introduced a new theory called laissez-faire. It means let us alone. So open your books at page number 8. Now our topic is imperialism. Imperialism meaning is in your book. The practice of establishing a country's rule and dominance over the economic and political life of people of another country is called imperialism. It is called the mother country, whereas the subject country is called a colony. Topic is causes of rise of imperialism. In your book 9 causes are there. Choose any 4 causes for your answer. First is surplus production. Second one is need for a raw material. Third is development of modern means transportation and communication. Fourth one is pressure of population. Fifth one is rise of industrial capitalism. Sixth is ardent nationalism. Seventh is contribution of Christian missionaries. Eighth is civilization mission of Europeans. Ninth is geographical exploration and discoveries. Impact of imperialism. Imperialism led to acquisition of colonies and colonial rivalries. It led to the First World War and Second World War. Imperialism also led to development of infrastructure in colonies, although the chief aim was exploitation of colonies. Our next topic is impact of the South Asia. It also united the people of colonial nation. The East India Company gradually became rulers from traders and eventually subjugated the whole of India. China was divided into several spheres of influence by European power called the cutting of Chinese melon. Next one is Sri Lanka was occupied by the Portuguese, then by the Dutch, and finally by the Britishers. England introduced tea and rubber plantation on large scale. The whole of South and Southeast Asia was politically subjugated and fell under the influence of the imperialism. I hope you understand this chapter. Read this chapter carefully. If you have any doubt, you can call me anytime. After this, time is for exercise part. Now I will send you exercise part video and you will fill it in your book and write down the question answers on your notebook and complete it. After this, you have to complete your notebook with keywords and important dates.